Hello, everybody, and welcome into tonight's broadcast. I am Samuel Reese. Happy to be coming to you live tonight across both YouTube and Twitch. I'm happy. I found out that tomorrow is a snow day here in Massachusetts. We got a snowstorm coming our way, so no school tomorrow, which opened up my availability to do a broadcast tonight. And I said, why not cover both Boston sports teams in action tonight, both the Celtics and the Bruins playing. So I'll be covering both games, just going back and forth between TD Garden and Madison Square Garden. The Boston Bruins currently hosting the Minnesota Wild. Meanwhile, the Boston Celtics on the road at the New York Knicks. So we should have a fun time. It should be a lot of fun. Hopefully both Boston teams get the win. The Celtics game is tipping off right now as we speak. Meanwhile, the Bruins game started just under a half hour ago, and Boston already have a 1-0 lead over the Minnesota Wild, and that is where I will start things off. But as I say, we'll be going back and forth. A delayed penalty actually coming up against the Bruins as the Wild are in the offensive zone. On the left wing, it's held in by Frederick Gaudreau, and now swung around to the far side where it's handled by Fiala. Into the high slot it goes, and Alex Goligoski has the puck. Still a delayed penalty, and finally the Bruins gain possession. That was Trent Frederick, and it will be the second penalty of the game against the Boston Bruins. 5:11 left in the first period, and it is a holding call against Brad Marchand. So Marchand goes to the box. The Wild with a power play opportunity coming up, and it will be a chance for Minnesota to tie the score at TD Garden. The Wild have actually had some pretty good chances, but still no goals. Boston's goal came on the power play earlier in the first period. It was Taylor Hall with the opener. All right, they had a commercial break, and we'll make our first switch of the night. Let's head over to Madison Square Garden, where the Boston Celtics are taking on the New York Knicks. 6-3 Celtics lead this game in its very early stages, about 90 seconds into the action from New York. The Celtics coming off of a devastating loss just 24 hours ago against the San Antonio Spurs. And looking for a bounce-back performance. Boston had multiple chances to beat San Antonio and could not do so at the very end of that game. Here's Jason Tatum, passes to Brown. Good look from three, and he knocks it down. Jaylen Brown with the early triple. 9-3 Celtics lead. And it's a unique home-and-home series here between the Celtics and the Knicks, as these two teams will face off again in 2 nights back in Boston, as Julius Randle steps back, and that's an air ball. 3-point attempt way off the mark was Randle. Marcus Smart will bring it up court for the Celtics. Thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. Jason Tatum pulls up mid-range, left it short, and the rebound collected by RJ Barrett. Here is Barrett charging into the lane, and Horford got a piece of it. Now the other way, here comes Smart. He'll go cross court. Jaylen Brown, contested three. Got it! Jaylen Brown with back-to-back threes for the Boston Celtics. And Tom Thibodeau not happy with what he's seeing from his team. The Knicks call an early timeout. 9:29 left in the opening quarter, and it's the Celtics with a 12-3 lead over the Knicks. All right, let's head back to TD Garden, shall we? And while we were over at the Celtics game, another penalty called against Boston, and the Wild score a 5-on-3 goal, and it's none other than Kirill Kaprizov, who had a standout rookie season last year. And he gets on the board here to tie the score at 1 from TD Garden. What's good, Ben? Welcome into the broadcast. Yeah, it's like old times. Exactly. Me commentating and you enjoying the show in London. I appreciate you tuning in, Ben. And I was saying at the start of the broadcast that I wasn't originally going to have time to to do this as Kirill Kaprizov scores his 14th goal this season. But tomorrow is a snow day. We're getting 6 to 9 inches of snow, so a snowstorm coming our way here in Massachusetts. And the school, I got the call from the school at around 6 o'clock, so about an hour and a half ago, telling us we'd have no school. And so that was great news. It opened up my availability, and I said, why not hop on and call some Boston sports action? And I haven't done one of these in a while. This is the first one of this season where I've done a simultaneous Bruins and Celtics broadcast. By the way, Kaprizov now with 40 points this season, tied for the 6th most in the NHL. 1-1 the score with 4 minutes left in the first period. And Minnesota scored that goal with a 5-on-3, so only Marchand came out of the box. And it's still Minnesota on the 5-on-4 advantage. So this is brought through neutral ice by Matt Zuccarello. Knocked the other way by the Bruins. The Wild now have a power play goal in 7 of their last 9 games. Behind the net, here is Matthew Boldy. Boldy, a rookie, making his NHL debut tonight for Minnesota. And now entering the zone is Fiala. Fiala all the way through, and Swayman makes the stop. Minnesota reset. A drive from the high slot blocked. It was a chance there for Matthew Dumba. That last shot, 97 miles an hour. Fiala, another chance from the left wing. Save made, another opportunity. And finally, Swayman covers up. 6 seconds to go on the Minnesota power play. And still 1-1, but all of a sudden, it's Minnesota with all the momentum. What's going on, Karam? Welcome into the broadcast. And yeah, I mean, you're right, Karam. I can't argue. The Celtics are broken. Yeah, that's true. The Knicks aren't the same as last year either. Yeah, 2 struggling teams, especially the Celtics, who have just been abysmal. Last night's loss was a rough one. Oh, all right, Ben. All right. Yeah, not sure why you didn't see any notification, but at least you found me. At least you found me. Yeah. Yeah, because if school was still on tomorrow as it would have been if there wasn't a snowstorm coming, I wouldn't have been able to do this as Minnesota win the draw. Slap shot and a goal. The Wild have doubled the lead from the blue line. It's a power play goal yet again for Minnesota. Jonas Brodin off the face-off win, putting the Wild in front. Well, how about the Wild just completely turning this game on its head? Back-to-back power play goals in about a minute span. And wow, what a shot from Brodin going top shelf. Swayman didn't even have enough time to react to that slap shot. And this game, with 3:12 left in the first period, has gone into Minnesota's hands. They have their first lead of the night, and TD Garden has gone pretty silent just like that. And there might have been a redirection in front. I'll let you know if there's any change to that goal as to who it was given to, but I think it was Brodin. Maybe a redirection in front. We'll see, as that's a big hit delivered. Pasternak chasing down this puck, but getting there first for the Wild is Connor Dewar. Now it's moved into the offensive zone for Minnesota. Gaudreau loses possession to Pasternak. Up the wall, it's Hall back to Pasternak. Rister turned aside. A pad save there by Minnesota's goaltender. Now it's fought for in the far corner. Pasternak will move it around the end boards, and now Minnesota back with the puck. Brought through the neutral zone by Jordy Ben, and they'll ice the puck. Face-off coming back in the Minnesota zone. Scotland and the North are going to get snow and lightning tomorrow, but down south it's just cold and wet. All right, yeah. Yeah, this is our first big snowfall of the year coming up. Yeah, in the area I live in, Massachusetts, we're getting apparently 6 to 9 inches. So, we've gotten worse before, but We haven't gotten anything this winter really. We've got 1 or 2 inches now and again, but nothing big until tomorrow. So it was about time for a big snowfall here in New England as the Bruins had the commercial break. We'll head back to TD Garden where the Celtics have a 12-4 lead. Same score as when we left. Under 8 minutes left in the opening quarter. Al Horford finds Smart. No-look pass. Horford a three. Too strong. And the rebound collected by the Knicks. Kemba Walker facing his former team tonight, however, not suited up as he deals with an injury. Robert Williams with the block. He got way up to deny R.J. Barrett. And now it's Jaylen Brown for the Celtics. Brown spin move in the paint. And the shot will be short as Evan Fournier, another former Celtic, collects the rebound. Fournier making a move past Brown. The floater is good. And New York end the scoring drought. 12-6 Celtics up by 6. 5 minutes played at Madison Square Garden. Smart, a nice bounce pass down low. And Brown fouled hard on his way up. He'll get 2 shots at the free throw line. Julius Randle committing the foul there. Brown this season against the Knicks in 2 games has averaged 34.5 points, 48% shooting as the first free throw is good. So he tends to play well against this New York Knicks team. See if the same is the case tonight as he makes it 2 for 2 at the line. 14-6 Celtics in front. Alec Burks up the floor for New York. That's a good question, Ben. I'm not sure they really can. Enes Kanter, who is now actually Enes Freedom, he legally changed his name a few weeks ago to Enes Freedom, so I have to get used to calling him that. He hasn't been getting that much playing time at all. So I don't really think Robert Williams and Enes Freedom on the court at the same time is something. It's not something we've seen often, and I don't think we will see it that often going forward. Robert Williams, when he's healthy, he can make a real impact. But Freedom just hasn't been getting enough playing time, I don't think. So I don't really think he's in Ime Udoka's plans to have he and Williams on the court at the same time as Smart gets charged into and an offensive foul called against the Knicks. That will go against Mitchell Robinson. Thanks, Jeffrey, for tuning in. Hello to you, sir. Hope you're having a wonderful night. About halfway through the first quarter, Jason Tatum rolls off the screen set by Williams. Tatum, nice pass to the right wing, and Smart's three is good. The Celtics hot from outside. Their three-point shooting is not disappointed early on. 17-6, a double-digit lead for Boston. Now here's Evan Fournier. Picked up by Tatum. Fournier, an errant pass, tipped by Smart, and stolen by Robert Williams. Smart bounce pass to Tatum, who's guarded by Fournier. Tatum dancing on Fournier, tries to spin away, and Fournier nearly came up with the steal. Great hustle by the former Celtic, but it will stay Boston ball. Ime Udoka in his first season as Celtics head coach. It's been a trying year for Boston, who are 10th in the East as we speak, an 18-20 record. In fact, if Boston were to lose tonight, they drop down to 11th in the East. And I know it's still, we're still in the middle of the season, but that would mean the Celtics would be out of a play-in spot. Remember, the NBA's keeping the format from last year, as that layup's good, 19-6, where 7 through 10 play in a play-in. Celtics would be looking outside of that even if they were to lose tonight. There's a slam dunk by Robinson, 19-8, Celtics by 11. Yeah, Jeffrey, hope you stay safe as well, my man. I was telling Ben earlier, that's the only reason I'm able to do this broadcast. I found out about an hour and a half ago that school got called off tomorrow because of the snowstorm coming our way here in Massachusetts. So it opened up my availability tonight instead of worrying about homework. Able to put that off for now and hop on here and hang out with you guys as Fournier knocks down the 3-point shot. 19-11 now the score. 4.5 to play now in the opening quarter from MSG. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem, Ben. His defense is questionable. Exactly. As Robert Williams commits the foul in the paint. And on Fournier's last three, perhaps maybe there was a foul there on Grant Williams that went unnoticed. 19-11, Boston leading 4:31 left in the first quarter. And Fournier has accounted for 9 out of New York's 11 points so far in this game. Yeah, exactly, Ben. Exactly. Celtics should never have to get in the playoffs via a play-in like they had to last year. The Celtics should at least be top 6 in the conference. I mean, there's no excuses there. I agree with you, Ben. Yeah, Bruins are down now 2-1. Yeah, I was over at the Bruins game. I'm going back and forth between both of them, Jeffrey, and I was when I was over at the Bruins game, both Minnesota goals happened, so maybe I was a bad luck charm there as Smarts called for the offensive foul, extending the arm out on Fournier. And Marcus Smart will take a seat for the Celtics. Not sure what you're trying to say, but welcome into the broadcast nonetheless, Julietta. Here's Taj Gibson, his first touches of the night. Fournier top of the key. Inside the lane, kicks to the corner. Euro step by Barrett, and he's denied by Grant Williams. Taken up underneath and moved up the floor by Richardson. Rob Williams to Brown, another three-point attempt. No good. He thought he was fouled, no whistle. What's good, Isaac? Welcome into the broadcast. Good to see you, Isaac. RJ Barrett into the paint. Now kicks out to Fournier. Yes, Jeffrey, absolutely. That's the plan. I do plan on doing the Pats-Dolphins game Sunday. Yep, 4:25 Eastern time start, as that's a pump fake, and Fournier's three is true. Evan Fournier has 12 of the 14 Knicks points so far in this game. He was a Celtic last year and now putting on a show against his former team. Here's Richardson, pulls up from the elbow. That's a brick. Celtics up by 5, but the Knicks starting to creep back into this game. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Between the legs pass by Randle. Fournier hands it off to Barrett. Barrett picked up by Grant Williams. And now it's Randle, guarded by Brown. A wild shot off the back iron, and the Celtics have the rebound. This is Dennis Schroeder. Down the right side of the court, guarded by Randle. Schroeder backing up. Now goes to the left wing with Richardson. 9 on the shot clock. Back to Schroeder. Kick out. Richardson a 3. No good. Schroeder an offensive rebound. Celtics will reset. 7 on the shot clock. Schroeder in the lane. Spin around. Fade away. And it's good. Dennis Schroeder with some nice ISO ball. 21-14. Celtics by 7. 2:13 left in the opening quarter of play. As Fournier lobs it up for Gibson, who comes down and goes back up for the two-handed slam, and Ime Udoka calls a timeout for the Celtics. The Knicks starting to find an offensive rhythm. It's Boston leading 21-16 with 2:04 left in the opening quarter of play. All right, let's head back over to TD Garden, where it's actually the first intermission. 2-1 Minnesota in front. So I'm going to step aside for a quick moment. But when I come back, I'll look back on the first 20 minutes from TD Garden as the Wild have a 2-1 lead over the Bruins. More coverage of both the Bruins and Celtics coming your way after this. All right, welcome back into the broadcast, everybody. As mentioned, the Bruins and Wild currently at the first intermission, and after 20 minutes of play, it's the Minnesota Wild leading the Boston Bruins by a score of 2-1. Don't worry, I'll get back to the Celtics game very shortly, but just going over what we saw in that first period between the Wild and the Bruins. It was all about penalties, and as a result, power play goals. In fact, the first goal of the game for the Bruins came on the power play. Taylor Hall from the right circle with a rather harmless shot, but it took a key deflection off the skate of Brodin, and that's what really threw everything off, and that's why that puck was able to sneak right in. But then it was Kirill Kaprizov later on in the period with a 5-on-3 goal as Minnesota would get on the board on the power play themselves. Kaprizov with the one-time snipe from the right circle, and that would level the score. And about a minute after that, Nico Sturm would make it 2-1 Minnesota as the Wild would grab their first lead of the night, and it came right off a face-off win, another power play goal, and what a snipe it was from Brodin as he went top shelf from the blue line in the high slot. And that's why Minnesota currently has a 1-goal advantage over the Bruins. So yeah, as I mentioned, the key really was power plays in those opening 20 minutes. How about Kirill Kaprizov? Just a special talent. That was his 14th goal of the season for the Wild in that first period of play. Of course, was the rookie of the year last year with good reason, and the Russian continues to impress in his sophomore season as a professional in the National Hockey League. And yeah, I think the Bruins just really let themselves down with the penalties they committed later on in that period. They welcomed Minnesota right back or right into this game, really allowed them to take control, and that just comes down to discipline. Boston have to be more disciplined now playing from behind. They make it more difficult on themselves. Of course, still a very long way to go in this one with 2 periods remaining. But, you really can't feel sympathetic towards the Bruins when the Wild punish them with 2 goals on the power play, first 5-on-3, then on the 5-on-4. And credit to Minnesota for capitalizing on those opportunities. So if the Bruins can stay out of the box, they definitely have a shot. Boston currently on a 3-game win streak. Those 3 wins did come against weaker opponents. Let's be honest. I was on the call for that overtime win against Buffalo at last weekend. But now it's a tough stretch. Minnesota right now. Then they got Tampa and Washington, 2 of the best teams you'll find in the Eastern Conference. So we're really going to see what the Bruins are made of in this next half week or so. As Ben comments, easy win for Chelsea against Spurs last night. Yeah, that is true. Yep. I wasn't able to watch that game, unfortunately, in the League Cup, but yeah, a good win for the Blues, no doubt about it. And I also agree with the second part of your comment, Ben. It does look like the league is over. I don't want to declare that this early on, but it's not. Yeah, it's not looking too bright for the Chasers. Man City just too strong, as you say. Liverpool struggling to keep up with them, no doubt about it. All right, before I head back to the Celtics Knicks, let's just quickly get you caught up around the NHL. A couple of games going on tonight, including a Pennsylvania rivalry. Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers. Brian Rust scoring the opening goal of the game to put the Penguins on the board, and then a 4-on-4 goal would come with 5 minutes left. Rust scoring his second of the game, 9th of the season, and the Penguins actually have a 3-0 lead at the end of the first period over the Flyers, and Brian Rust has now had 7 goals in his last 3 games. Most goals since January 1st in the league, to no one's surprise. He's been hot since the start of 2022. Meanwhile, at TD Garden, it's the Bruins trailing the Wild 2-1. We're at the first intermission in this one. The second period is moments away, folks. So we'll get you back out there for the Bruins Wild, but for now, let's check back in on the Celtics Knicks in New York, where that game, it looks like, is at the end of the first quarter. So I'm going to step aside quickly, but after the break, it's the second quarter of the Celtics Knicks from Madison Square Garden. All right, welcome back in. Ben, you watched the highlights of the last Patriots game. All right, you're getting into the gridiron. Love to hear it. Man, yeah, it's I'll tell you what, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. American football. I know, it's a bit confusing, I'm sure, to people overseas who haven't ever really followed it. But yeah, I love the NFL. I'm actually wearing an NFL shirt right now. Probably should have worn some Bruins or Celtics attire, but kind of just came in here on the fly and didn't have much time to prepare. But yeah, that's awesome, Ben. Glad you're getting into it a little bit. As the Knicks will bring it up the floor. This is Obi Toppin, who stood out in college at Dayton. Here's a three-point shot. It is good from the right wing. That's knocked down by Alec Burks. 25-21. Celtics by 4, just underway here in the second. Dennis Freedom hands it off to Tatum. Tatum, cross-court pass tip, but makes its way through to Schroeder. Now Grant Williams kicks out. Tatum, a three-point attempt. It's good. The three-point shooting has been fantastic for the Celtics here in the opening half of play. How do I think Thibodeau would do as our coach? I don't know, Ben. Sort of an old school coach, which, might be good for a team that needs to toughen up a bit, in my opinion, as that layup is missed. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure how Thibodeau would fit at the Celtics. I guess I wouldn't mind him. I think he's a decent coach, as Dennis Schroeder has it top of the key. Now finds Richardson on the left wing. Richardson, a three. It's good. The Celtics won't stop missing from three-point range. Now it's Emmanuel quickly picked up by Richardson. 31-21, Celtics by 10. Passed out to Burks. He gets double teamed inside and is denied on the shot. Tatum spins into the front court, launches a three. Good again. Jason Tatum from downtown, and a timeout called by the New York Knicks. What's good, Vaughn? Welcome into the stream. My goodness, the Celtics are on fire from beyond the arc. A 13-point lead with 9:55 left in the second quarter of play. All right, as they head to a timeout, I'll step aside for a moment after the break. It's back out to TD Garden for the start of the second period between the Bruins and Wild. Vaughn, that I do not know how to answer that question. I know, Ben. One would think. I'll be back after a quick break. Second period coming up between the Bruins and the Wild. All right, welcome back in, everybody, and thank you for the kind words, Bondaseo. Hope I'm pronouncing that somewhat correctly. Will I do the championship game on Monday night? Oh yeah, the college football playoff championship game. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so, Jeffrey. Uh, that's the hope, man. I do have a pretty big test coming up on Tuesday, but hopefully I'll have studied enough before Monday night. And yeah, I'm hoping to. It stinks that the championship every year for the college football playoff is on a Monday night. I wish it was on the weekend, but yeah, I'm hopeful I will be able to do that, Jeffrey. So that is the plan. That is the hope, anyways. All right, so we'll head back to the Celtics in a little while, but first I will stick around at TD Garden for a little while, as the Bruins and Wild are playing a pretty big game. The Wild have had a pretty good season, and the Bruins, as I mentioned, a 3-game win streak. So trying to gain some momentum after that long COVID pause. Should the national championship be on ABC? Yeah, probably Vaughn, but I'm not complaining since I have ESPN, but yeah, I would probably get more viewers if it was on ABC, since that's obviously an over-the-air network. But I guess that's part of the contract that college football has with ESPN, where both semifinals and the championship game have to be shown exclusively on ESPN and not ABC. So yeah, as Bergeron will move it ahead to Craig Smith, and now it's turned over in a dangerous area as the Wild will move it to the right point, sent in deep, and now comes out into the slot where the first shot was blocked. Now here comes Matt Zuccarello. Zuccarello's pass off the mark and brought the other way by Brad Marchand. Marchand pinned against the boards, and Minnesota back in possession. We're just getting started in period number 2 from TD Garden. On the puck is Matthew Dumba. He'll dump it in. No icing as Swayman will pass it out wide. Hall to center ice where Pastrnak will send it in for Eric Haula. Haula aggressive on the forecheck as he sends Merrill into the board. And now it's swung out to center by the Wild. Bracing for contact is Marcus Foligno, the brother of Nick Foligno, who's on the Bruins. So 2 brothers facing off tonight. As that shot's blocked by Hall. Now it comes out to the left point. Sent behind the Boston goal where Boldy is unable to possess. Getting there first was John Moore. Battle in the corner, and Hall comes away with it. A foot race now, but getting there first is Alex Goligoski. He'll leave it for Merrill as the Wild reset. You believe the championship game will be on... Yep, Jeffrey. Yep, the championship game will be on ESPN, and then there will be alternate feeds on, ESPN2 and a few other channels as well. Yeah, absolutely, Ben. I love Dick Vitale's enthusiasm as well. Yeah, hopefully he gets better soon. Just an absolute legend. No doubt about that, man. Got to echo those words. Absolutely. Ben, as Vaughn says he hasn't watched an NHL game since November 24th. My goodness, Vaughn. What have you been doing, my man? As this is swung behind the net to Boston's Nick Foligno. Now it's fought for along the end boards. Oscar Steen is there. And now it comes out to the left point where the shot by Derek Forbort is blocked. Comes back to Coyle, still in the offensive zone, and a nice blocker save by Kaapo Kähkönen. And Kähkönen sends it over the boards. That was the 11th shot of the night from the Boston Bruins. And Taylor Hall had a hard fall, actually, moments ago. He took a stick to the face, in fact, and that went unnoticed by the officials. Hall has a goal tonight. And since the start of last season, in 37 games with the Sabres, just had 2 goals. In 46 games so far with the Bruins, since making the move to Boston, has 15 goals. So already we're seeing better production from Hall. He was the first pick all the way back in the 2010 NHL draft when he was selected by the Edmonton Oilers, was an all-star, of course, about 5 years ago. Has had an interesting career, to say the least. As that pass is intercepted by Marchand. Marchand taken down, but no penalty. A clean takeaway by Matthew Dumba. And now down the right wing, here's Rem Pitlick. Pitlick around the wall. Bergeron's there, and he'll knock it out of the zone. A reminder that the NHL All-Star Game is just about a month from now. February 4th and 5th will be All-Star Weekend. Hopefully, I can cover both the Skills Challenge and the All-Star Game. Always a good time. All-Star Weekend. 4-board on the puck for Boston. What's good, Mike? Welcome in. Yeah, Mike is a Wild fan from being from Minnesota. In fact, Taylor Hall was the MVP winner in the 2017-18 season. So, yeah, 5 years ago, in fact. Or no, 4 years ago, I guess that is. Yeah. As the Wild ice the puck. Face-off coming back in the Minnesota zone. Yeah, I did hear that Tuukka signed a trial contract today with the Providence Bruins. Yeah, I did hear that, Jeffrey. So Rascal going to make a comeback. Yeah, absolutely, Ben. Yep. Bruins sell out every game at TD Garden. Yeah, just like the Celtics. Yep, it's always a sellout. In fact, I think the Bruins have had, with full capacity allowed, over 500 straight games, regular and postseason, sellout crowds, which is remarkable. As Pastrnak finds Hall. Hall tangled up and taken down. That's going to be a penalty. Heading to the box will be Alex Goligoski. And so with 15:33 left in the second period, it's the Bruins to the man advantage. So an interference call against Goligoski. And yeah, that's an easy call really for the officials. He continued to stay with Hall and eventually just took him down. No intent to play the puck either, right in front of the crease of Kakkonen. And so Boston with a golden chance here for the next 2 minutes on the power play. For their first goal came on the power play as well. And there's a drive, a nice stop by Kakkonen. Are they bigger than the Celtics in Boston? It depends, Ben, really. It depends, what year we're talking about and how well both teams are doing. But both teams are really big. Yeah, I wouldn't say one's bigger than the other. But yeah, hockey is huge. I would say, basketball is popular across the country, whereas hockey, not so much. Hockey's more of a regional thing. And here in New England, we love our hockey. Whereas if you go down to the southern part of the country, no one is really interested in hockey that much. So that's what makes it cool and unique, if you know what I mean. As here's a drive by Pastrnak, and he whiffed on the shot. Battle forward in the near corner now. Nah, nobody's into the chant, Mike. I think we've got mainly Bruins fans in the house. I'm sorry to say, Mike. As this will be swung around by Pastrnak. Backhand pass by Foligno. Now a chance on the right wing. Holding as Marchand. Feeds into the slot. A drive blocked in front. And now a loose puck tipped wide by Bergeron. Halfway through the Boston power play. This is Marchand along the boards on the right wing. Marchand delays, feeds it in front, and a save made by Kakkonen. The puck still loose with Foligno on the ground. Pastrnak takes a bat at it. And finally, it's gloved by Kakkonen, who holds on for the stoppage in play. All right, Mike, worth a shot, man. Worth a shot. Yeah, great battle in front of the net as Foligno was pushed down by Matthew Dumba, and after that, it was mayhem in front of the goal crease as Foligno eventually had his helmet ripped off. 44 seconds left on the Bruins power play. I'll head back to the Celtics in a moment. For those of you eager for me to head back to that game, don't worry. As this comes around for Mike Riley. Riley, a diagonal pass, connecting on that right wing, and now entering the zone is Coyle. Coyle taps it back. Riley across the line to Haula. Haula for Hall, and Hall turns it over. It's given away this time to Kevin Fiala, and the other way, here comes a slap shot from distance. Swayman turns it aside, and time running out for the Boston Bruins. Here comes Hall down the left wing, tees it up. Hall is drive, saved by Kakkonen, who holds on with just a second left on the power play. Hey, go Bruins! That's right, that's right. Bondaseo. Yeah, Mike is an all Minnesota sports fan, just like I'm a all Boston sports fan. We love our local teams. Mike, a Timberwolves fan. Yeah, I wouldn't mind this game having a fight soon, Ben. I wouldn't mind that. Should NHL put a team in Mexico City? No, I don't think so, Vaughn. I don't think that would work out. I don't think it. I don't know if Mexicans know how to even skate. So yeah, I'm not sure if that would be the best idea for marketing purposes. I don't know if that would be a draw down in Mexico where hockey isn't that popular of a sport at all. Here in the neutral zone, it's Kaprizov. Kaprizov scored the second goal for the Wild, or rather the first goal for the Wild, I should say. The power play over for the Bruins, 13 minutes left in period 2. Now it's fought for in the near corner, and it's stolen by Anton Bleed. Bleed chips it ahead, and that's won back by Matthew Dumba, and that puck deflects out of play with 12:45 left in the second period. 2-1, the Minnesota Wild leading it over the Boston Bruins. There was a fight when I was covering the Celtics game. Oh, all right, Jeffrey. All right. Yeah, there you go. I missed it. Well, hopefully we'll get another one as I go back to the Celtics Knicks. And my goodness, the Celtics are destroying the Knicks. 59-35 is the score as a long-range three is off the mark from Schroeder. What's good, Quinn? Welcome in. This broadcasting is overpowered. Not sure what you mean by that, Quinn, but I'm taking that as a positive as the floater is knocked down by Fournier. But the Knicks with a long way to go if they want to get back into this game. Under 2 minutes remaining in the first half, Celtics leading by 22. And Vaughn, that last comment is just nonsensical as Big Al Horford, knocks down the corner shot. Thought it was a three, but his foot was on the line. 61-37. And fouled on the layup attempt was R.J. Barrett. He'll have a couple of free throws. All right, Mike, you do that. Look at the upcoming NBA schedule. Tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern Time, it's Milwaukee against Brooklyn. Always a good matchup in the East. And then at 10, it's Atlanta taking on the LA Lakers. First free throw is good. Do I remember a time that they put a soccer game on the Golf Channel? Oh, you mean they put a Premier League game on the Golf Channel on the final day? Yeah, I do remember that. R.J. Barrett, in his last game, had 32 points, and he's only just scored his first 2 points of tonight with those free throws. Do I have a computer where I can have both games on? No, this is my computer I'm using here, Quinn. It's Robert Williams. knocks down the close range shot. So yeah, this is all I got. I wish I had the Sam Fetterman setup with two TVs right next to each other. I've seen his basement setup before, as that's an and one for Mitchell Robinson. But yeah, I can only make do with going back and forth, which it's not a big deal. I mean, the Celtics are already blowing out the Knicks, so I may lean towards favoring the Bruins Wild game. Well, yeah, playing games there is a completely different story than having a team in South Korea, Vaughn. As Marcus Smart had the ball off the ball foul as Brown was knocked down by Mitchell. 56 seconds now left in the half. No, definitely not, Ben. If we choke this lead, then that would be. I can't say I'd be surprised because the Celtics have been so wretched this season, but nothing can surprise me anymore with this team as Smart's denied. His shot blocked, and here come the Knicks in transition. This is Fournier. Open look. The three is good. And the Knicks make it a 18-point game with 40 seconds to go in the half. Marcus Smart takes it up the floor, finds Tatum, out to Horford. His three is short. And the rebound collected by Burks. Burks bounce pass inside, and the one-handed flush by R.J. Barrett. And all of a sudden, New York on a bit of a run. It's a 16-point game. Celtics will slow it down, about a 5-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Tatum picked up by Barrett. He'll shoot a long-range three. That's no good. Offensive rebound by Smart. His three on the way. That's no good. Fournier the rebound. Half-court shot at the buzzer. No good off glass. And that will be halftime from Madison Square Garden. The Boston Celtics shooting red hot tonight. They have a 63-47 lead over the New York Knicks through 24 minutes of play. Do I remember a time that they put a sporting event on CNN? No, I can't say I do, Vaughn. Do you remember that? I can't recall a time that a sporting event was shown on CNN. Maybe there was one time. I could be wrong. As I'll head back over to the Wild Bruins with the Celtics reaching halftime. 10:45 remaining in the second period. 2-1 Minnesota. Here's Hall trying to find Pasternak. And now it gets through to him. Pasternak skating the line, trying to keep possession. It's kept alive. Pasternak feeds into the slot, and with his back to goal, it's stolen away from the Bruins. Possession lost there by Mike Riley. Or no, that was Eric Halla, actually. And now a hit delivered on the far side by Connor Dewar. Minnesota try to re-enter. All right, you can't, Vaughn. Yeah, I didn't think so. Bergeron over to Matt Grzelcyk. We're midway through this one. 10 minutes to play in period 2. 2-1. Wild in front of the Bruins. Now it's moved up the left wing. And they're going to drop the gloves. We get our fight that we were looking for. Frederick's going at it. And now the referee's trying to split them up as Frederick exchanges a couple of punches there with Dmitry Kulikov. And they're still going at it. Frederick with a couple of right fists. And now the undercut. Kulikov is without a helmet. And down he goes. Trent Frederick with the takedown. And that gets TD Garden rocking and on their feet. Trent Frederick always the energizer for this team. And he delivered the beatdown on Kulikov. A low hit by Frederick on Kaprizov. Kulikov was not happy about it. And they dropped the gloves. What a great fight that was. They take a commercial break at TD Garden as we can collect our breaths for a moment. So I'll step aside. Back with more after this. Stick around. All right, welcome back in, everybody. The Bruins game getting heated up against the Wild, but just quickly over checking in on the Celtics Knicks. They are at the half, and I did miss a big chunk of that second quarter, so uh, hopefully they're going to show some highlights here just to get us a little bit caught up. Don't worry, I'll be heading back to the Bruins in a couple minutes' time. And yeah, you were right about that, Jeffrey. There are sports events on the USA Network. More frequently now as NBCSN shut down. So all of the sporting events that had been on NBCSN now head over to the USA Network. So yep, that'll be something to get used to more frequently on a weekly basis. But yeah, it's the Celtics with a nice 16-point cushion, 63-47. They lead the Knicks, but with the Celtics team this season, you simply never know. Let's be honest. You simply never know. No lead is safe with this Celtics team who have struggled greatly late in games. So I still wouldn't hold my breath just yet. No lead is safe for the Celtics team this year, just the way they've played. Um, so although the first half was promising, and this is the best I've seen the Celtics shoot as a team in a long time. And look, three guys in double digits, which is what you love to see. Jaylen Brown, 12.6 rebounds. Jason Tatum, 15 points, 5 assists. And how about Dennis Schroeder, 16 points on 7 of 8 shooting? So the guys you expect to lead this team are making their shots and coming up big, which is what we need to see more consistently from the Celtics team, quite frankly. But yeah, Boston have been red hot on the offensive end, and that's something that's been a rarity. I mean, I call the last Celtics game I called was the game where they went 4 for 40 or something stupid like that from 3-point range. I mean, they had the second worst shooting night in NBA history from 3-point range. So it's good to see them making shots. A lot of knockdown threes off of screens. So they're getting some open looks, or at least half open looks, which they are taking advantage of. So yeah, the Celtics, they just they can't take their foot off the gas. They can't afford to do that. If they do, then yeah, they could be in trouble, because basketball is a game of runs. We all know that, and the Knicks are a team that are capable. Even though they've had their struggles this season, just like the Celtics, they're a team who are capable of getting on a run. And so this game's far from over, even though the Celtics do have the 16-point advantage. But yeah, I went away to check on the Bruins when the Celtics were up by, I want to say, 10, and then I checked back in, and it was a 20-point game, or like a 22-point game actually, which was great to see. But I got a feeling the Knicks aren't going away. The Knicks aren't going away, and I don't know. I have my doubts. I'm not sure if the Celtics can continue to shoot that red hot throughout the full 48 minutes. So it's only natural for them to possibly cool down once the second half gets underway. But we shall see. We shall see how the second half plays out for Madison Square Garden. Remember, it is a home and home series between these two teams, so both teams will fly over to Boston to meet on Saturday night. So an interesting dynamic there with these two teams facing off twice in a 3-night span. But yeah, I thought Celtics started out strong, never really looked back, and even expanded upon their lead slowly but surely. Um, and particularly in that second quarter is when they really got red hot. But yeah, I'll head back to the Bruins game. It appears they are in a stoppage right now. I'm heading back to the Bruins game in a moment. DeMarcus Cousins has been released. Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, Cousins has been released by Milwaukee. I saw that as well, Ben. Um, you've always wanted him to be a Celtic. Interesting. Yeah, I've never been a big fan of DeMarcus Cousins, if I'm being honest with you. But hey, we'll see. Celtics coach was on WBZ this morning. Okay, Jeffrey. Yeah. Yeah, Ime Udoka's had a rough first season, let's face it. He's had a rough first season in charge of the Celtics. I thought getting rid of Brad Stevens was the right move, but this new coach, Ime Udoka, has not necessarily made things better for Boston, let's be honest. So, a lot of improvements to be had. It's been a rough season. The Celtics have not been fun to watch. They've been the exact opposite. They've been wretched to watch, but hey, still a Celtics fan at the end of the day, so I'm still going to cover them, still going to pull for them, even though they sometimes make me want to rip my hair out. But that's just, how it is. um, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And with the talent the Celtics have, it should be better. But, too much selfish play has been a big issue. Yeah. So can only look to the future now. That's the only way you can look at it. But yeah, the issues are evident within this team. There are some personality issues. I don't think the team has great chemistry either. But I can go on and on about my disappointment with the Celtics later. But we're heading back to TD Garden, where the Minnesota Wild have actually just scored and have taken a 2-goal lead. So the Wild cashing in again. They've now scored 3 unanswered, and with 7:34 left in period 2, it's a 2-goal advantage from the Wild, and Matt Boldy has actually scored the goal. So that is his first career NHL goal in his NHL debut. And even more of a fairy tale story is that Matt Boldy grew up in Boston, going to TD Garden to watch Bruins games, and he also went to Boston College, played a couple of bean pots at TD Garden in his college days, and now he scores against his hometown team in his NHL debut. What a story for Matt Boldy. Ton of his family in attendance as well at TD Garden. So you got to love that. Even though I'm a Bruins fan, congrats to Matt Boldy for scoring against his hometown team in his very first NHL game. Special moment, I'm sure. Yeah, exactly, Ben. A bit like Man United, you could say, are the Celtics. We have a delayed penalty call coming up against Boston. That puck touched by Brandon Carlo, and now the penalty will be assessed with 6:57 left in the period. It's Patrice Bergeron heading to the penalty box. Yeah, I've been hearing those rumors, Ben. 70 million euro for Luis Diaz making a move from Porto to Liverpool is possibly in the works. Yeah, yeah, I love the guy. He's a fantastic player, and so it'll be interesting to see if that deal goes through. It's an interference call against Bergeron, so he's in the box. Face off here to the left of Jeremy Swayman. It's won by Boston. Forbort will immediately clear. As that's sent all the way down, and an icing call just 5 seconds into the power play. Yeah, Matt Boldy, actually from Milford, Massachusetts, which Milford is about 10 minutes from where I live. Milford is like 2 towns over from me, so that's really cool. I actually want to check now. Did he play at Milford High School, who are in the same same league as my high school. I want to do some more research on this guy, Matt Boldy. I can do that during a break as Minnesota will take it back. Along the goal line, the Bruins will try to exit the zone. And re-entering our Minnesota. They'll swing it around to the right wing, and that slips by, I believe, Kevin Fiala. The Bruins, by the way, 21 penalty minutes tonight, which is a season high, and we've not even played 2 periods. Oh, and stripped from behind is Coyle. Chance at the back door, and what a save. Jeremy Swayman with a big-time stop. Minnesota nearly had a 4th. Now it's into the neutral zone with Fiala. Halfway through the power play are the Wild. This is tapped back by Brodin. And now Zuccarello battling for the puck. That'll escape the zone. All the way back it comes to Kakkonen. Matthew Dumba will claim possession for the Wild. Dumba through center ice. Sends it along the boards at the blue line. And Bruins will try to move it out, and they do. Minnesota will have to reset. Dumba with possession. 15 seconds left now in the power play. No offsides. Marcus Foligno flips into the slot, and a full-length clearance. That was sent all the way down the ice, and the power play is over. Out of the box is Bergeron. Back to even strength are Boston. So the Bruins try to clear it, and that puck took a weird bounce towards Swayman, who was alert, and immediately covered up for the save. 4:50 left in period 2. It's the Wild with a 3-1 lead over the Bruins. Matt Boldy, a local kid from around Boston, scores in his NHL debut for the bad guys. Minnesota up by 2. Back with more in this game in a moment. Meanwhile, Celtics Knicks inching closer to the start of the second half. In fact, I'll step aside for a quick moment, but after the break, I will get you out to Madison Square Garden for the start of the second half. All right, welcome back in. 63-47. Celtics leading the Knicks as we're ready to start the second half from MSG. I actually heard that today as well, Ben. Ronaldo saying that if a new manager doesn't come in, he's gonna head out. Yeah, that's quite something. It looks like Ralph Ragnick is in bit of trouble. Wouldn't blame him if he just said, "All right, I'm heading out. You guys can find a new coach because I don't want to have to deal with all of this pressure and unhappiness at the club." Yeah, I did see that, Jeffrey. Antonio Brown was officially released by the Buccaneers. Yeah, I think it was today. Yeah, yeah. What a wild situation there in Tampa. Yeah, crazy stuff. As Fournier finds Julius Randle. Randle pulls up, can't hit the deep 2. Offensive rebound, 3-point attempt is good. That's RJ Barrett from downtown. And just like that, it's a 13-point game. 63-50, just underway in the third quarter from New York. Here's Jaylen Brown. Brown along the baseline. Keeps his pivot. Finds Tatum. Tatum, a fadeaway. No. Left it short. And now the other way. Here comes Alec Burks. Burks passes to Randle. Randle taking on Horford in the paint. He'll find Barrett. Barrett looking for a foul. Didn't get it. Great defense at the rim. And that'll be a kick ball called against Burks. Yeah, I agree with you, Ben. I agree with you. You got to listen to what Ronaldo says. I would think, yeah. As Brown tries to pass it out, but it's tipped and intercepted by R.J. Barrett. Catch and shoot three. It's good. Evan Fournier from downtown. And all of a sudden, New York have shrunk the Boston lead to 10. And a timeout called by Ime Udoka. We've only played 82 seconds. I can't do math. 78 seconds here in the second half. But already Boston calling a timeout. And the Celtics with a slow start to quarter three. All right, let's head back to the final minutes of period two, and the Bruins scored. Yeah, right on cue, Jeffrey. We missed a Bruins goal. My bad. I did not intend for that to happen, but hey, the Bruins have made it a one-goal game. 3.5 now left in the second period. I'll stick with it till the end of the period now. As Minnesota reclaim possession in the neutral zone. It's turned away in the slot, and a quick one-timer covered up by Swayman. The opportunity arose rather quickly for Matt Zuccarello. Jeremy Swayman with another nice stop for the Bruins. Yeah, there was just pressure there on Matt Grzelcyk, and it was Ryan Hartman forcing him into a turnover, and that's where Zuccarello had a pretty good look. Swayman with 18 saves tonight now. It was a power play goal. All right, Jeffrey, so another one. Both of Boston's goals tonight have come on the power play. Keep with the Bruins. I'm going back and forth, Bondesio. I'm a diehard Boston sports fan, like yourself it seems. So I can't favor one over the other. I will primarily stick with the Bruins once the third period gets started. But the Knicks are making it interesting over in the Celtics game as the save is made by Kakkonen. A look at the upcoming NHL schedule. Next week, January 11th, Detroit at San Jose, 10:30 Eastern Time. And a week from tonight, the Bruins will host Philadelphia at 7. Same night, Columbus, Carolina at 7 o'clock. And then January 17th, Montreal take on Arizona at 4 in the afternoon. That will be Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Yeah, I wish I had 2 screens to keep you updated with both games. Unfortunately, I don't have that system in place just yet anyways, as Hartman tries to feed it cross ice, but it's intercepted by Nick Foligno. Back into the Minnesota zone, it's Jordy Ben. And Kulikov sends it around the boards. Minnesota have 21 shots tonight. 13 of them have come on the power play. That is quite something. As entering the zone as Hartman couldn't get a shot away. Stays with the puck. Dumps it in where there to retrieve is Derek Forbort. And out it goes. Bruins will make a change as Goligoski will claim the puck behind the Minnesota net. 2 minutes remaining here in period number 2. Up the wall, it's Merrill. Eric Holla trying to re-enter the zone, but it's Boldy who already has a goal in his NHL debut. Now to the left point it goes. Slap shot sent towards Swayman, who makes the stop. That was Goligoski with a chance. Now to the right point it goes. Another slap shot attempt blocked in front on the drive by Merrill. 90 seconds left in the period. Boston will move it ahead to Marchand. Great cross-ice feed collected by Smith. Smith in a fight for it with Goligoski. And eventually it's won by the Wild. Here is Fiala. He'll find Merrill. And now the Bruins battle for possession. Coming away with it is Pastrnak. Nico Sturm trying to win possession, and now cleared away by Kakkonen as that puck came his way. 45 seconds to go in the period. One last chance perhaps for the Bruins, although that's a costly turnover in the neutral zone. Down the right wing, it's Gaudreau. Backdoor pass, and a nice pad stop by Swayman. Swayman with the denial at the back door. And now the Bruins clear it back to the Minnesota end. Here come the Wild quickly the other way, and Sturm takes an awkward hit up against the boards. He's a bit slow to get up. No penalty. 15 seconds to go. A drive from the point ends up wide on the effort by, I believe, Pitlick. And now it's passed off to the left wing, and a glove stop by Swayman. Save after save for Jeremy Swayman, and that will bring us to the end of the second period, with the Minnesota Wild leading the Boston Bruins 3-2. A thoroughly entertaining game here at TD Garden. The Wild have an undefeated record, 11-0-1 when leading after the second period this season. The Bruins will try to change that heading into the final 20 minutes of play. Should the Bruins beat the Wild? I mean, the Wild are a good team, so I honestly think that they're pretty evenly matched, Ben. It wouldn't be surprising to me either way if the Bruins lost or if they won. The Wild are a solid team, I do have to say. All right, I'm going to step aside quickly as the Celtics game is also in a timeout. But after the break, I'll get you caught up and head out to Madison Square Garden, where the Celtics are taking on the Knicks. Stick around, everybody. All right, welcome back in, everybody, as the Celtics now have an 18-point lead. So 9 minutes left in the third quarter, and right as I say that, Randle rattles home a three-point shot. It just doesn't seem like New York are crawling away. Yeah, I know, Ben, I know. We're at the last straw, aren't we, with the Celtics, as Tatum Fakes the shot. That's tipped by Randle, recovered by Smart. He'll find Horford now to the corner. Brown, Horford, shot clock at 1. His 3 no good. Offensive rebound, and the putback laid in for 2 by Jason Tatum. Plus the foul. No. No foul called, but the basket is good. 73-56. Here's Randle. Randle steps back, shoots over Horford, barely caught the rim. Now Tatum the other way after the rebound. Great bounce pass into Brown, who puts it in for an easy 2. 75-56 Boston lead. Tatum with 20 points. Brown is 14. Randle, another three-pointer. This time he hits. Julius Randle, a second 3 of the half. 75-59. What's good, Hugo? Welcome in. Am I doing 2 games back-to-back? No, not back-to-back, Hugo. Both games are going on right now, so I'm literally bouncing back and forth between the Bruins and Celtics game, trying my best to cover both as Horford misses the corner 3. The Bruins Wild are currently at the second intermission, so right now I'm over at the Celtics game. Tatum a 3-point attempt. That's no good. And collecting the rebound is Alec Burks. 7.5 left in quarter 3. The Knicks shoot from deep. That won't fall, and Smart with the rebound. Tatum to the corner. Horford from downtown. No. Fournier in transition. Moves it ahead. RJ Barrett can't hit the layup. And offensive rebound collected by Burks. In the corner, it's Randle. Cross-court pass. Barrett decided to not take the 3. Instead, he passes it. 1 to shoot. Fournier gets it off in time. No. Shot clock violation. The Celtics are up, Hugo. Yeah. As Smart. It looked like he took an elbow to the face there on that last New York possession. Yeah, Celtics are up 75-59. 6:56 remaining in the third quarter currently. As this will be Jason Tatum taking it up the floor for Boston. Tatum gets it back from Robert Williams. Spin move inside. The layup is good. Jason Tatum plus the foul. And he is in his groove here in the second half of play. Yeah, it does, Hugo. It does. But you never know with the Celtics. They tend to choke leads pretty badly in the fourth quarter of games. So I'm crossing my fingers, though. Tatum 22 points now and make it 23. The free throw is good. 78-59. Randle finds Fournier. Fournier fouled in the lane. It'll be on the floor against the Knicks. .6:39 to go in quarter number 2. Fournier inbounds to Gibson. Now RJ Barrett pulls up from the elbow, and it's a swoosh. 78-61 as the Knicks try to come back. Here's Schroeder for the Celtics. Now Al Horford, top of the key. Passes to Tatum. Tatum defended by Barrett. Horford now on the right baseline, and his pass intercepted. A nice steal by Gibson, who had a nifty pass to Barrett. Barrett, though, has it stolen right back. Robert Williams getting back defensively to come away with the steal. Now it's Schroeder off a screen. Schroeder spinning around and backing up. Halfway through the third quarter, Brown a 3-point shot. Too strong. Fournier the rebound. Evan Fournier finds RJ Barrett. Barrett back out to Fournier. Pump fake. Now a 3. It's in and out. Gibson tries to tap it out, but it's taken away by Schroeder. Schroeder a drive. The underhanded scoop is good, plus the foul. 5:33 left in the third now. And a 3-point play opportunity for Dennis Schroeder. The Celtics just not slowing down on offense. They are really in a good rhythm. No, Hugo, it's in the third quarter. Yeah, 5:33 left in the third quarter. Schroeder now with 18 points. He's had a nice night. Schroeder, as a starter, has averaged 19.5 points a game. Off the bench, 11.6. Got the start tonight as the free throw rattles in. 81-61. The Celtics up big. Nah, I don't think he is, Ben. No. For me, Tatum's not a starting 5 all-star player. No. Not in my opinion, as Randle is fouled in the paint by Al Horford. And it looks like it'll be on the floor. Yep, no shooting foul. As we look at the upcoming NBA schedule, tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern, Milwaukee takes on Brooklyn. And then at 10, it's Atlanta against the LA Lakers. Saturday night, these two teams get set for a rematch at 7:30. As Gibson gives it back to Fournier. Baseline jumper, no good. What happened to Smart? Yeah, he took a little bit of a knock. He took an elbow to the face on a layup attempt by a Knicks player. I can't remember who it was. I don't know how big of an injury it was for Smart, but he hasn't returned since, as that three from the right wing's no good by Grant Williams. Under 5 remaining in the third quarter now. This is Julius Randle. Randle pulls up. That's a brick, but it's off of Richardson. It'll stay with New York. They'll inbound from the baseline. Out it comes to Julius Randle. And now back tipped away, I should say. And Gibson will leave it. 4.6 to shoot. It'll stay with the Knicks. 9 blocks tonight for the Celtics. Just 1 for the Knicks, meanwhile. They'll have to work quickly. Randle guarded tightly by Horford. 1 to shoot. They're not going to get it off. He passed to Burks. Didn't have enough time to do so. And that will be a shot clock violation against New York. 4:28 to play now in the third quarter. Celtics with a big 20-point lead. Boston shot 56% in the first half, 47% here in the second half now. What seed is Boston in the East? 10. Yeah, you heard me right, Hugo. Yeah, Boston are the 10 seed in the East. They've had a wretched season, and they're surprisingly playing well tonight. Yeah, Randle has struggled a bit tonight, Ben. Yeah, he hasn't been shooting that well, as a corner three's on the way, and Evan Fournier converts. 81-64. 4 minutes left in the third now. This is Dennis Schroeder on the right wing, guarded by Fournier. Behind the back pass, Horford has this tipped and stolen. A great takeaway there by Emmanuel Quickly. Quickly to the corner. Randle looking for Fournier. Knocked out by Schroeder. It'll stay New York ball. And Enes Freedom will check into the game for the Celtics as Al Horford takes a seat. And there's Fournier again. He's been red hot from beyond the arc. The 3-point shot is good. They were supposed to be contenders. I didn't think so. I thought coming into the season the Celtics would finish around 6th in the East. but certainly not as bad as they're doing. But I wouldn't say they were supposed to be contenders. They're just not good enough, plain and simple, and they've struggled real badly. The last the last 2 seasons now, really. Yeah, I think Rose is injured, Ben. Yeah, I believe so. Yep, I think you're right about that. It is Dennis Schroeder heads to the line for a couple of free throws. First one is good. 3:10 to play now in the third quarter. Second free throw on the way for Schroeder. He misses it, and it's off of Boston on the rebound. New York basketball. So 82-67. We'll see if the Knicks can close out the final 3 minutes of this third quarter strong. Quickly, wide open look. 3 no good, and Schroeder with the rebound. Thoughts on Al Horford? He's getting up there in age. That's the problem, Hugo. He's definitely past his prime. Just a little bit slow out there. I thought he was going to be, a good locker room presence as a leader to try to get this team to behave, as that three-pointer is good, and the Knicks have made it a 3-point game. It's Emmanuel Quickly from downtown. But yeah, I don't know. Horford, he struggled. He struggled, in my opinion. Not sure if he's the right fit, as Ime Udoka calls a timeout, and New York are on a run, folks. They were just down by 20, but now it's just a 12-point game. 2.5 left in the third quarter from Madison Square Garden. I'm telling you, the Knicks are not going away. All right, I'll step aside for a quick moment. Back with more as the Bruins and Wild get set for the third period as well. All right, welcome back in, everybody. I'll head back to the Celtics in a little bit, but for now, we are ready to begin period 3 between the Minnesota Wild and the Boston Bruins. It's been a very physical battle tonight. at TD Garden, and the Minnesota Wild have a 3-2 lead as we head to the final 20 minutes of action. Appreciate your guys' company as always. So look at some statistics. The shots slightly in favor of the Wild, 24-21. Minnesota 2 for 7 on the power play. Boston 2 for 4. 15 penalty minutes on Minnesota and a season high 21 penalty minutes against Boston, which I said it was a physical battle, and I truly meant that. It's been an absolutely physical battle here between these two teams as we get set for the start of the third period. The big news today for Bruins fans was that Tuukka Rask signed a PTO contract with the Providence Bruins. He's of course been with the Bruins all the way since 2007. The 2013-14 Vezina Trophy winner, 306 wins, which is the most in franchise history, a .921 save percentage, which is the third highest in NHL history. So it'll be interesting to see if Tuukka Rask in a couple weeks' time could be back in that starting position for the Boston Bruins. The Providence Bruins, of course, their AHL affiliate. So he'll get some time to get back into form as he recovers from his surgery. And Swayman will cover up here 24 seconds into the third. All right, off the face-off, it's won by the Bruins. Fought for in the near corner, and that pass escapes the zone, and here comes Brad Marchand. Marchand taps it back to Bergeron, and redirected wraparound opportunity. Bergeron's effort blocked. He'll move it up high. Moved across the line for Carlo. Carlo, a slap shot. Save made by Kokkonen. And now the Minnesota Wild will try to clear, and they do. Well, an energetic start to this third period for the Bruins. Yeah, I haven't been really following the Predators all that closely, Hugo. But yeah, I think they're having a pretty solid season. Yeah. Oh, and look at this! They're dropping the gloves again! It's Trent Frederick again, this time against Marcus Foligno. A couple of right swings, and now Foligno attacks. Foligno on top of Frederick, and down goes Frederick. Second fight of the game for Trent Frederick. And this time, Marcus Foligno gets the better of him. As those two still chirp away after the fight concludes. Trent Frederick, not one who's afraid to drop the gloves, and Marcus Foligno was chirping at him constantly right before that fight. And Frederick said, "All right, let's go at it. Let's drop the gloves and throw some punches." And this time, Frederick was on the losing end of that fight. You mean who's winning, Hugo? It's 3-2 Minnesota. Minnesota are leading Boston right now as the Wild will actually be sent to the power play here. How much is an average ticket for a Bruins game? It's around the same as a Celtics game, Ben. Yeah. Um, which I don't even know what that is right now. Tickets get more and more expensive. Oh, the fight, Hugo. Minnesota did. Yeah, Minnesota did. And so now the Wild head to the man advantage because there was a penalty assessed before that fight. Here comes a wrister, turned aside by Swayman. Just underway here in period 3. And that's going to be a tripping call. Carlo was tripped there by the Wild's Marco Rossi. And we will head to a 4-on-4 for the next minute 48. How about that? The penalty box is really starting to fill up. Yep, a clear trip there as Rossi took Carlos Skates out from underneath them. 18:36 left here in the third period. Face off back in the Minnesota zone to the right of Kokkonen. Yeah, around 100 sounds right. I remember the last Celtics and Bruins game I went to. I don't even know. The average might be more than that cuz I got the cheapest tickets up in the balcony, way up top. And those were about, I want to say, like 85. So the average might be a little north of 100. It's 38 euros for Millwall. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah. Yeah, the tickets are pretty ridiculous, the ticket prices, if I'm being honest. And look at this. Minnesota with a chance in front. Ryan Hartman was wide open in front of the goal. Just couldn't quite corral the puck before Swayman covered up. 126 left on the 4-on-4 with a lot of open ice. Yeah, Swayman was all over it as Hartman tried to spin around and get a shot away. Could not do so. And now the face-off to the right of Jeremy Swayman. Look at the penalty minutes. 22 for Minnesota and now 28 for Boston. It's been that type of game. Even though these two teams are from separate conferences, you would think they're rivals the way they've played this game so physically. This is Pasternak through center ice. Pasternak still going down the right wing. His shot deflects out of play. Blocked there by Jonas Brodin. Wow, it's setting up to be an intriguing third period. 17:49 left. Will the Celtics ever own their own arena? No, I don't think so, Ben. It's always been this way. Even at the old Garden, the Celtics and Bruins shared arenas, which there's a decent amount of examples of that around the country where NHL and NBA teams share an arena. There's not really an issue with it. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool how the two teams share an arena, as this is taken to the corner by Kevin Fiala. Yeah, it would just be too much building a whole nother arena in a city where there's not really much room to do that, as Pasternak's shot is blocked. It's just easier to keep them at the same place, as Clifton taps it back to Pasternak. His slap shot saved by Kokkonen. And now Pasternak comes in with the forecheck. And now it's Bergeron at the right wing. Bergeron down low to the goal line. He'll tee up more. Now Boston with about a 12-second power play as Craig Smith exits the box. And here is Smith. Smith behind the Wild goal. Tees it up, and the shot is saved. Kokkonen covers up as Brad Marchand had the chance from the left wing. Well, we do have an update elsewhere in the NHL. The Pittsburgh Penguins, red hot. And they are running over the Philadelphia Flyers 6-1. Penguins lead with 7 minutes left in the third period. Wow. In Pittsburgh, ever since the New Year started a week ago, starting to look real good. I think they're on an 8-game win streak or something like that. So even before the New Year, as we're back to full strength, 5-on-5. Marchand takes it to the right corner. Now up the wall to the point with Clifton. Clifton, D-to-D pass across the line. Sent in deep for Bergeron, who can't quite control. And that puck escapes the Boston zone. Or rather, the Minnesota zone. Minnesota currently 40 points. Fourth in their division, I should say. And the Bruins with 36 points. Fourth in the Atlantic Division. Here's Pasternak. Pasternak looking for Holla. Eric Holla will swing it around. Pasternak on the right wing. Turns it over. There's the steal by Matthew Boldy. And that will go down. No icing on the play. Yeah, that is true, Hugo. That is true. Yeah, it's impressive how they found room to build SoFi Stadium, which is technically in Inglewood. So technically outside of LA. But yeah, but even so, Inglewood is still a suburb of LA where there's not much room. That's rattled off the end boards by Carlo. Now Pasternak up to the point, and Carlo's drive gloved by Kakkonen. He holds on. 15-11 left in period 3, and the Wild clinging on to a 3-2 lead. Yeah, Kakkonen might have been screened as well. Did well to keep an eye on that puck all the way through and make the save. Hartman will go against Coyle here in the draw. Coyle will kick it to a teammate, and there's a quick shot by Oscar Steen, which is blocked. And now a pass into the slot, knocked away there by Matthew Dumba. Now it comes to the point. The drive by Grizzlick, saved by Kakkonen as Minnesota try to take a breather, and they do as they clear it out to the neutral zone. Boston, though, re-enter quickly. The shot's even at 26 all. Up to the left point. There's a drive through traffic just wide of the goal. Here's Coyle on the right wing. That shot by Moore deflected. And now Minnesota will chip it out. Now a backhand effort, and that was blocked in front. Chance there arrived for Zuccarello. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, LAX is in Inglewood. Yeah, I actually went to LA summer of 2019, which was a good time. LA and San Diego. So yeah, I flew into LAX, which yeah, that is a one busy airport. Yeah, as that puck is pinned against the cage, and Kakkonen will cover it up with the glove. 13:52 to go here in the final period. It's the Wild leading the Bruins 3-2 at TD Garden. Will I be doing Olympic ice hockey? Yeah, that's a good question, Ben. I don't know yet. I might try to do some. With the time difference, it's going to be real tough. A lot of the games will be in the middle of the night for me since it's in China. I would have definitely done games if NHL players were allowed to play. Unfortunately, NHL players are not allowed to go. NHL is not allowing them. That came out like a couple weeks ago, which is very disappointing. I was bummed about that because I would have been locked into the Olympic ice hockey tournament if the world's best players were allowed to compete. With no NHL players, it's a little bit disappointing. Actually, very disappointing, but it'll still be interesting to watch. And yeah, I'll try to call a couple of USA games perhaps if they're at reasonable time spent. Yeah, yeah. Uh, Hopefully I'll be able to do that. As I head back over to the Celtics Knicks, and what do you know? The Knicks have made it a 5-point game, folks. I told you, you can never guarantee anything with the Celtics team this year. They only lead by 5. Catch and shoot 3. Tatum can't hit, and Taj Gibson collects the rebound. Here's quickly. Fournier, sidestep 3. You bet. Evan Fournier with a swoosh, and he makes it a 2-point ball game. Madison Square Garden is rocking right now, 87-85, and Fournier has 31 points. He's 8 of 12 from 3-point range. Now Robert Williams finds Smart, and that will be a foul, but not a shooting foul. On the floor. Wow. Oh no is right, Ben. This is not looking good for the Celtics. Yeah. Same old Celtics it's looking like. We'll see how the final 8:39 plays out. Smart inbounds to Jason Tatum. He finds Brown in the corner. That three off the mark. Obi Toppin with the rebound. Bounce pass by Barrett. Knocked out of bounds by Tatum. It'll stay with the Knicks. Only 5 seconds came off the shot clock. Boston with a 2-10 record in games decided by 5 points or fewer. As quickly will take it outside. The three-pointer's an air ball. Gibson tried to save it, but he stepped out of bounds. Wow. This Knicks comeback, quite something. 87-85. The Celtics once led by 24. Yeah, exactly. Ben, as Jaylen Brown draws the foul. That'll go against Taj Gibson. Not a shooting foul here. And there is Marcus Smart cashing one in. A much needed basket for Smart. 90-85 and a timeout called. 7:52 to go in the fourth quarter. Marcus Smart with a big three, but the Knicks are coming back. 5-point ball game. And I'll be back to the Celtics game in a moment, but for now, let's check back in with the Bruins and Wild. 2 close games here. 13 minutes left in the Minnesota-Boston game. And it's 3-2 Wild still. Oh yeah, I'm with you, Ben. I'm with you, man. Something's got to change. Players need to head out the door for things to truly change. As Pasternak takes it the other way for Boston, that shot saved by Kokkonen. And now Nico Sturm out to center. Retrieving this puck is Connor Clifton. Clifton for Pasternak. He tries to go cross ice and successfully finds a teammate. Swinging it around is Hall, and the one-timer saved by Kokkonen. The chance there for David Pasternak. This is Taylor Hall back in front, no one there, and the puck escapes the zone. All the way back it goes behind the Boston goal. Clifton, the indirect feed to David Pasternak. Pasternak now to the left wing. Here comes a chance. Tight angle shot turned aside by Kokkonen. And now a collision along the end boards as Pasternak went down after colliding with Merrill. All right, sounds good, Ben. You get some sleep, my man. And have a great one. Thank you so much for tuning in as always, Ben. Under 12 now to go in the third period. And ESPN is showing an awful camera angle here. As that shot's blocked, Charlie Coyle taking it the other way. Coyle, however, tracked down. 11:30 left in regulation. Back to this puck is Brandon Carlo. Carlo gave it away momentarily. Here's Hartman. Hartman's pass stopped at the line by Forbert. And an offside call is made against Minnesota. $11:10 to go, and it's been a good one. And yeah, that was a bit of a scary moment for Pasternak when he collided into the boards. Got his skates tangled up with Merrill. And that is always a scary situation there. Yeah, exactly. Bondesio. A big shakeup is needed in the Celtics organization, no doubt about it. Face off here at the dot in the neutral zone. Won by Boston. Bruins trailing by 1. Here's Craig Smith. Smith will enter through the slot. Bleed couldn't control the pass on the left wing. And the Wild trying to counter, but back on the puck is Matt Grzelcyk. Taking it forward is Curtis Lazar. That shot misses the net. Second chance, and that drive is smothered by Kokkonen. An opportunity for John Moore. 10:42 left, and the Bruins inching closer and closer to a third goal, it feels. Face off here coming to the right of Kaapo Kakkonen. Bruins win the draw. Quick shot saved. Rebound chance, and Bergeron couldn't put it on target. He had the original shot, and now Minnesota will clear, and they'll ice the puck with 10:31 remaining. A lot of stoppages here in the third period. Much more NHL action on the way in the coming days. Sunday afternoon, 2 Eastern Time, Dallas face St. Louis. Tuesday at 10:30, Detroit faces San Jose. Wednesday at 7, Montreal against Boston. A great rivalry. And that should be a fantastic matchup between the Bruins and the Habs. Here is Bergeron back to Mike Riley. Pass deflected out to center ice, and now the Bruins will dump it in where Kokkonen gets a touch. And down the left wing, it's Hartman. Hartman will swing it around to the far side. Getting there is Clifton. And that puck feathered forward out to the neutral zone, past the midway point of period 3, as that's a slap shot from the neutral zone. Comfortably dealt with by Swayman. Here come Boston the other way. It's Smith. Passes it over. Centering pass by Haula. Knocked away. Staying with it was Smith. And that comes out to neutral ice. We got a whistle on the play. Perhaps a hand pass. Well, it's been a great one at TD Garden. Action continues after a quick break. We'll check back in on the Bruins very shortly, but for now, it's back out to MSG, where the Knicks and Celtics are in a close one themselves. Currently, 93-90. The Celtics up by 3 with 6:10 remaining in the fourth quarter. Marcus Smart in possession for Boston. Smart finds Jason Tatum. Tatum defended by RJ Barrett. Now it's Horford back for Tatum. 3 to shoot. Contested 3 is good. Jason Tatum with the triple. 96-90 Celtics lead. A big time shot right there as New York take it the other way. This is Randle trying to pound his way inside, and the left-handed layup is good. 96-92. 5:20 remaining. Dennis Schroeder at half court. Passes to Smart. Marcus Smart picked up by Barrett. Now finds Tatum. Tatum defended by Fournier. Spin move. Tatum kicks it to Smart. 3 is no good. Offensive board by Horford. Back out it goes. Wide open look. Tatum can't hit the 3. Missed opportunities there for Boston. And now here's Randle for the Knicks. Smart goes down. Play continues. This is the red-hot Evan Fournier. Thought about the shot, instead finds Randle. Randle working on Robert Williams. Another strong drive and a foul called. As he'll go to the line, the whistle against Robert Williams with 4.5 remaining. How about the night Evan Fournier's having? He has been unbelievable. Julius Randle also with a tough shot moments ago, and now he earns a trip to the line. He has 19 points. Randle, as I mentioned earlier, was struggling, but now he's come alive in the second half, particularly in this fourth quarter, as the first free throw is good. And Randle makes it 2 for 2. It's a 2-point game, 96-94 Boston. A game that's coming down to the wire. Randle now has 21 points, by the way. Schroeder finds Tatum. Looks like Brown's getting set to check back into the game. Back it goes to Schroeder. Pass finds Tatum. His three off the mark. Rebound by Quickly. And here come the Knicks. Quickly to Fournier. Catch and shoot. Three. It's good. Plus the foul. Evan Fournier is having himself a career night against his former team. Unbelievable as the Knicks have taken the lead. Wow. Oh, wait, it was a 2. I beg your pardon. His right foot on the line, but nonetheless, a big time make by Evan Fournier, who is firing up the crowd at Madison Square Garden. And so Fournier will shoot one. So I just gotta plug in my computer here to charge it. I'm not going away, don't worry. And it is no good, so it stays a tie game at 96 with 4 minutes to play. Jason Tatum takes it up the floor for Boston. Robert Williams. That pass nearly escaped the hands of Schroeder, but he holds on. Dennis Schroeder, crossover move, contested jumper, too short. And there with the rebound is Mitchell Robinson. Into the front court, it's Randle. Randle guarded by Brown. Quickly, floater, no, off the iron, and Jaylen Brown collects the rebound for the Celtics. 3:25 to play, and a timeout called on the floor. 96-96, what an ending it should be from Madison Square Garden. Evan Fournier leading the New York Knicks to an unbelievable comeback. Get you back out to MSG in a moment. Meanwhile, Wild still leading the Bruins 3-2 with 7.5 left in the third. That's where I go to for a moment as Taylor Hall's in possession. Hall sending it cross ice, and now Minnesota win back the puck. This will be dumped into the corner and now chased after by Zuccarello. Marchand wins the puck. Frederick, who's had 2 fights tonight, gains the line, but Zuccarello now has it. A 2-on-1 could emerge. Cross ice goes Zuccarello. The return pass just off the mark, and now a backhand opportunity for Zuccarello, which Swayman takes care of. Down low it goes to Hartman. Hartman up to the point. On the left wing, it's Jonas Brodin. 6:35 left, and Bergeron tries to clear. Only as far as the neutral zone. This is Connor Clifton. Exactly, Hugo. I wasn't lying. I'm a big Celtics fan, and it's been painful to watch them this year, but I have been following them all year long, and it's the same story. Time and time again. It's crazy. Now it's chased down by Marcus Foligno. Puck back out to the neutral zone. 6 to go in period 3 from TD Garden. Minnesota leading Boston 3-2 in a close one. Getting to this puck on the far side was Fiala. That puck saved by Gaudreau. Gaudreau trying to stay with it along the end boards. And now the Bruins will move it out. This is Oscar Steen. Steen sends it ahead for Nick Foligno to chase. And now Steen again on the left wing. Steen down to the corner. Nice pass, but Coyle couldn't quite get a shot off. Coyle back with it. Centering pass. Steen is met by a couple of Wild players, and it's stolen away by number 25, Jonas Brodin. 5 minutes left now in period 3, and that puck is over the glass and out of play. 5:04 left in regulation. Minnesota leading the Bruins by a score of 3-2. As Boston try to grab a late equalizer and perhaps force overtime. Oh, no worries, man. Don't even worry about paying. I do this all for the fun of it. I do have a passion for sports broadcasting, and this is great practice. But I appreciate the kind words, man. I appreciate the kind words. But that's very generous of you thinking about that. But no, I love doing this. I do play-by-play commentary for my high school's games for the local TV channel, and I do some PA announcing for them too. And don't worry, I get paid for that. So this is just for fun. As Jason Tatum knocks down the first free throw as we head back to the Celtics. Knicks 2.5 to go in the final quarter. Coming up next, the Clippers battle the Suns down in the desert. Should be a good Western Conference battle. As Tatum makes it 2 for 2, 98-96, Celtics back in the lead. And I will stick with this game till the end. Hopefully it ends before the Bruins game does, so I can, or maybe, it'll be the last minute of the game in both games, and I'll have to go back and forth. Nice give and go, and the floater off the iron from Fournier. It is off of Robert Williams, so it stays with the Knicks. 2:09 left. Oh, I'm not sure about that call. Looked like it went off the knee of Robinson, at least on the first look at the replay. But they give possession to New York. Pass to the corner. Fournier the three. Oh, it's good. Evan Fournier is on fire. An unbelievable night, and the Knicks are in front 99-98. Wow. It's their first lead of the night. New York once trailed by 25 points. As Tatum is fouled, and he makes the shot. Back and forth these two teams go in the final minutes. And one for Jason Tatum, and the Celtics lead 199. Wow. What an ending here. Tatum's free throw is good. 101-99. Celtics by 2. Minute 46 to play. Tatum with 34 points for the Celtics. Kind of a quiet 34 for Tatum. As quickly has to pass. The Celtics have him locked up, and a timeout called by Tom Thibodeau. 1:34 to go, 101-99. Celtics have a 2-point edge in an epic ending from Madison Square Garden. All right, they head to a quick commercial break. I'll just quickly check in on the Bruins Wild, where it's still 3-2 Minnesota, 4:15 left in the third period. This puck out to center ice. The Bruins have actually pretty much dominated this third period, but still haven't found the equalizer. Hall gains the line. Hall through the slot. His effort wide. Centering pass. And no one could get on the end of it from Craig Smith. And now Minnesota move it back out the other way. Entering the Boston zone is Boldy, and his effort smothered by Swayman. 3:48 left in this one. And then the Bruins giving it everything they've got late. Try to force overtime. All right, let's head back over to Madison Square Garden. I'm going to just go back and forth between the two games here, pretty much, as they're both in their final stages. 1:34 left between the Celtics and Knicks. Boston up by 2. 1:34 to play as New York will inbound from the sideline. Fournier gets it back from Randle. Back to Randle it goes. His three, no good. He had a good look. Who's it off of? They say Jaylen Brown. So it'll stay New York ball. .126 to play. Inbounding from the baseline will be Quickly. Quickly finds R.J. Barrett. Here's Barrett, the alley-oop and the slam. Mitchell Robinson ties the game. 101-101. All level. Here's Marcus Smart for the Celtics. Smart bounce pass to Tatum, who's defended by Fournier. Spin move, kick to the corner. Schroeder to Smart, three-pointer, short. Rebound by Fournier, and New York have a chance to take the lead with under a minute left. Oh, and Smart going for the steal here. Almost did it, but R.J. Barrett keeps the possession alive. Quickly on the drive, banks it in. The floater is good, and the Knicks are in front. 103-101 New York with 44.7 to go. Unbelievable. From down 25 to now up 2, the New York Knicks have come storming back. And all signs pointing to them pulling it out here, unless the Celtics can make some clutch shots down the stretch here. As New York are in front by 2. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, back in the Wild Bruins game, there's 1:30 to go, and the Bruins have pulled Swayman, and that shot from Bergeron covered up by Kokkonen. So 1:23 left, an extra skater on the ice for the Bruins as they pull Swayman out. And we've got 2 games with about a minute left. It's going to just constantly go back and forth between them, as Boston did call a timeout. Emmanuel Quickly has 16 points, by the way. Both teams, 1 timeout left. Celtics have 1 foul to give. New York don't have any. And both teams also have 1 challenge left. As we return from the timeout. It looks like the Bruins called a timeout in that game too. So, all right, here we go. Schroeder into the lane, trying to keep it, but it's stolen away. A steal by Julius Randle. Celtics don't need a foul here, with about a 15-second difference between shot and game clock. Backing it up is R.J. Barrett. The Knicks can take a 2-possession lead here. Barrett defended by Robert Williams. Into the lane he goes, and a foul called against Jason Tatum. So 2 free throws for Barrett with 18.8 seconds left. Wow. And Barrett now will attempt his first free throw, which is no good. So that is huge for the Celtics. That miss will keep it a 1-possession game and give the Celtics a chance. Meanwhile, the Bruins have the puck in the neutral zone with 1:08 to go. Pass off the wall taken away. Minnesota try to clear. That puck played by a high stick, and a huge hit delivered by Brad Marchand. Time stops with 57 seconds left, and the Wild not happy with Marchand. All right, back to Barrett's second free throw, which he makes. 104-101. New York leading by 3. And the Celtics will use their final timeout to come up with a play here. Well, it's not done yet. It's not done yet. Bondaseo. So the Celtics will talk things over. 18 seconds remaining, and they trail by 3. Meanwhile, back in the Bruins game, Boston have possession with 55 seconds left. Brought ahead by Marchand. Bruins will swing it around the end boards. Their one last chance. Here's Bergeron skating the goal line. His pass blocked, and now the Wild trying to get it out. They can't quite do so, but now they will. It's played off the half boards, and having to retrieve this puck is Matt Grzelcyk. 30 seconds remaining for the Bruins. Hall chips into the slot. Minnesota gained possession. Another clearance by the Wild, and that will be icing. 14.1 to go. Face-off back in the Wild zone. Meanwhile, Celtics Knicks back from a timeout as the Celtics will inbound from the sideline. On the far side, this is huge right here. Smart gets it into Robert Williams. Back it comes to Smart. Smart takes it inside, tries to get the 2, and is fouled on the shot. The foul there committed by Robinson, so with 15.4 seconds left, Smart will have a couple free throws. Meanwhile, the face-off in the Wild zone, won by Boston. One last shot coming. Perhaps Marchand into the slot. Here's a drive. Save made. Puck is loose. Bergeron denied, and Kokkonen covers up with 4.4 left. Oh, man, that was the look. And Grzelcyk may have gotten a stick in there as well. Battle in front of the net was taking place, meanwhile, between Coyle and... I'm not sure who it was, but it might have been Brodin. Not entirely sure. As the faceoff here comes to the left of Kokkonen. 4.4 to go. The Bruins have to win the faceoff and get a quick shot off. Bergeron wins it. Marchand's drive is stopped. Kokkonen covers up again with 1.7 remaining. Wow. Meanwhile, Smart just made both free throws. Knicks inbound. Randle has it, and he's fouled with 12.5 seconds remaining. Oh my goodness. So 2 free throws for Randle as the Knicks have a 1-point lead. Meanwhile, one last chance for the Bruins. They barely have any time to work with. Bergeron has to win the faceoff. 1.7 seconds left. It's one quick shot. Pasternak's effort blocked, and time expires as there was a big collision in front of goal. But the Boston Bruins fall short in the end. The Minnesota Wild get the job done. 3-2 is the final score from TD Garden. Wow, what a battle as the Bruins' 3-game win streak finally comes to an end. As Randle gets set for his free throws. Takes a big, deep breath before the first one. And he missed his first one, got the second. He missed the first one, was over at the Bruins. 105-103, 10 seconds left. It's knocked away from Tatum. It's off of New York, though. So 8 seconds to go. It'll stay Boston ball. The Celtics have no timeouts remaining, keep in mind. So it was knocked loose by Robinson from behind. And here we go. Celtics inbound. 3 to shoot. Tatum. Good! Jason Tatum with the bucket in the clutch. 105-105. Pulled up from the mid-range. And it's a swoosh. We're all level. Unbelievable from Jason Tatum. Oh my, with 1.5 to go. That is cold-blooded from Jason Tatum. And the stare down to a couple of Knicks fans afterwards as well. Wow. A clutch shot to say the least, and we are all tied up. This is turning into a classic game. It really is. These two teams, remember, in the season opener, met in overtime. Or rather, their game went to overtime, I meant to say. Yeah, both games down to the wire, exactly. I picked the right night to cover both the Celtics and Bruins. as the Knicks called a timeout, their final one of regulation, as they'll try to drop the play and try to hit a game-winning shot, or else we will head to overtime. And I guess now that the Bruins game is over, I have some time to set up a scoreboard for you that I'll try to keep somewhat up to date. All right, here we go, folks. It'll be inbounded by Alec Burks. Barrett, one dribble, three-point shot. Oh, he banked it in! He banked it in! There is no way! The Knicks win the game! 108-105. One of the craziest game winners you're going to see this season. R.J. Barrett. New York win. Absolutely unbelievable. A bank shot three with Tatum all in his face. And the Celtics just cannot believe it. Oops. Had to switch there on the scoreboard. But the Knicks win it 108-105 in a wild game and a wild ending. A bank shot to win it from three. I mean, a shot that if R.J. Barrett tried 100 more times, I'm not sure if it's going in. But he had the sweet touch. And the New York Knicks win it all. 108-105. The Celtics bench can't believe it. The New York Knicks, meanwhile, mobbed R.J. Barrett after that. That is unreal. Yeah, exactly, Hugo. All right, before I sign off, here are the thoughts of both R.J. Barrett and Evan Fournier after the Knicks come back with an unbelievable win.
First of all, Evan went crazy today. That's my guy. He always goes crazy against the Celtics, but I don't know. Just pushing, keep pushing. My teammates have my back, and thank God that coach put me in. I was able to make the shot.
Congratulations on all the excitement, Evan. A career night for you with 41 points. Averaging 32 wasn't good enough against Boston for you. You had to go for 41, huh?
Yeah, I came off a bad game. I was just trying to be aggressive, and honestly, just trying to win at home. We haven't been good at home at all this season. We've been good on the road though. So just trying to build some momentum and just start playing better.
It's been an up and down season for you. Do you feel like this was your welcome to New York moment?
I don't know. I don't think it can get any better than my first game here. It was an incredible night. Actually against the Celtics as well. So, I'm obviously looking for consistency. And we all are. But I'm just glad we have a win. But it's a quick turnaround. We have another game in Boston in 2 days.
And the good news is you get Boston again on Saturday. If only you could play them every game, right? Evan, congrats on the win.
All right, Evan Fournier, a career-high 41-point performance. He was unbelievable against his former team, the Boston Celtics, who he played for just last year. The New York Knicks have just beat the Boston Celtics from down 25 to a 3-point win at the buzzer. R.J. Barrett, the bank shot three. I mean, I've never seen anything like the comeback, the game winner. Wow. Absolutely crazy. All right, sounds good. Bondesio. I hope I'm pronouncing that somewhat correctly. I really appreciate you coming in and tuning in, I should say. You got sons my age. All right, well, tell them I said hi, and maybe they'd like to check out the channel. But I appreciate you tuning in. Man, wow, that was wild. All right, well, that'll do it for the broadcast. I'm Samuel Reese signing off, saying good night. Unfortunately, the Bruins and Celtics lose. Two great games, though, that both came down to the wire. The Wild beat the Bruins 3-2, and the Knicks beat the Celtics 108-105. So long, everybody, and I'll be back. What's going on, Gisira? Welcome in, man. You came in just in time for me to sign off. I am saying good night, but great to see you as always, man. And I might be back on tomorrow. I was supposed to cover my high school's basketball game, but it got postponed because of the snowstorm coming our way tomorrow, and that's why I have no school tomorrow, and that's why I was available tonight. So I might go on for an NBA game. I think the Bucks are playing the Nets, so I might do that, but no promises. We'll see. I'm definitely doing Patriots. I'm definitely doing Patriots Dolphins on Sunday. All right. Yeah, Brody came up big in his NHL debut for the Wild today. As no worries, Kisaro. No worries, Kisaro. You have a great night as well. So long, everybody.